Good day, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Making money last forever. How many of our clients, and ourselves for that matter, want that to happen? We've all seen the statistics. Running out of money is one of the biggest fears of retirees or those getting ready to retire, but that doesn't have to be. We're pleased to have Cody Lodermeyer, internal wholesaler from North American Company, with us today. He'll be presenting some excellent ideas and North American solutions to the lifetime income dilemma. Cody, take it away, please.
Sorry, I appreciate the opportunity, Alan, and thank you everybody for attending. As he mentioned, making your clients' money last forever is definitely going to be the quote of the day that we're going to be revolving around, talking about the different kind of the market conditions, why you're looking at a fixed indexed annuity for an income solution, and then the different solutions that are out there, not necessarily product solutions, but the different types of income that is going to be available through a fixed indexed annuity to your future clients. Now, I'd like to just start off with giving my marketing communication team a little bit of credit. They do a fantastic job of creating new innovative pieces, keeping them fresh, making them customizable. And we actually created a flyer brochure called Income by Design. A lot of the pieces that I'm going to cover today are going to be included in this Income by Design book that is orderable through our website. It's going to have some of those items that are listed there over to the right, which we'll touch base on a little bit more and show you kind of how to use those pieces to best leverage the conversations with your clients. But before we hop in and discuss some of those pieces, why is this important for income for your client? Well, here you see a chart, which is the S&P 500, and it's a 20-year look back. The reason why I'm showing this is you can clearly see in 2000, we were at a high point. We did have a crash in 2000, which lasted several years. The break-even point was back in 2008 too, when we had another crash. And since then, we've been on a nice bull run ever since. Last December, it did take a little bit of a hit, but we are kind of trending back up at this point. So everybody right now has had 10 years of some pretty solid returns. Really excited about that. Possibly needing to lock those in as they're looking at their retirement instead of a fixed indexed annuity essentially for their retirement needs. So now that we've seen the S&P 500 a 20-year look back, let's look at some actual stats of a 100-year look back in the S&P 500. Now the stats I want you to look at are in the bottom center of your screen. On average, a bear market occurs every 5 years on the S&P 500. Average decline is 39%. The average duration is 1.5 years, and the average time to break even is 5.2. So let me just ask, how many of your clients going into retirement have 5.2 years to break even on their money if there's an average bear market, which has happened roughly every 5 years, and currently we're on a 10-year bull run. So I know we're supposed to look at everything cyclically. We look for different patterns and graphs. That doesn't necessarily mean that a bear market is in the future. I'm just pointing out facts that we have obtained in regards to the S&P 500 and why it's going to be important for your clients to have a lifetime income annuity.
Not right.
I'm going to go ahead and mute Alan and Brad there for a second. I apologize about that.
Oh, fuck.
But kind of moving forward, we talked about 5 years is the average time and roughly 5.2 years to break even in regards to a downturn in the market or a bear market per se. So the retirement paycheck, what does this look like in today's lifestyle? Well, right now, people are loving the benefits of pensions, their consumer savings, and Social Security. Those are traditionally the three main barstool legs that people will rest on moving into the retirement phases. Now, what if we strip those away and it became a one-legged stool with just your consumer savings? Because pensions, they're slowly fading. Social Security could definitely have some changes coming up here. And some of those items, well, I guess let's hop into a question. How many Fortune 500 companies offer a defined benefit plan currently to their new hired employees? Some people might think that's a 30 to 50%. Some people might be optimistic and say 60 to 70. Other people are going to be on the low end and say 10. Well, the answer is actually 16% of Fortune 500 companies currently offer a defined benefit pension plan to their new hire employees. And roughly 6 of them offer the same plan that they offered 20 years ago. So that number used to be a lot higher. It was actually closer to 82% in 1995. It has been dramatically decreasing, and if we keep with that pattern, they are going to dissolve eventually. So now let's move into my second question. What percentage of US workers have no retirement workplace savings? So it's like your 401k, 403b, defined pension plan, employee stock option plans. I think this number is going to shock a little bit of individuals. So actually 46% of people either don't participate in their company plan or don't have one available to them. So I like to round that up to 50. Roughly 50% of individuals currently don't have a funded retirement plan. Well, that can be a big issue when it's going to come to the three-legged bar stool with pension, consumer savings, and Social Security. You're already taking away the consumer savings in that aspect, and Social Security, you'll kind of see here in a minute why I have some question marks in regards to that. And then clearly we've already seen pensions have slowly been dwindling, not in regards to the actual offering of the pensions, but also in regards to the benefits that are offered within those pensions. So with that being said, let's hop over to the Social Security information and why a lifetime income rider is going to be important for your clients. Social Security currently replaces 40% of workplace income on average. So there's a 60% gap that the client is averagely going to need to make up from going from their working years over to their retirement years and recurring that or getting that Social Security. Now, everybody knows by using a fixed indexed annuity to leverage a lifetime income stream, you can push off starting your Social Security maybe till a little bit later to maximize those benefits. Instead of starting it at 62 or 65, you can push that off until 70 to make sure that you're going to get the most money possible out of that Social Security income stream. So the Social Security Administration admitted to CNN that by the year of 2035, benefits will most likely be reduced. I think that's a huge indicating factor that we can't rely on Social Security because they don't say how it's going to be reduced or affected. They just say it is going to be reduced. So without that guarantee, nobody's going to be able to have that comfort, security, the swan theory, the sleep well at night. That's what North American is really looking to do with our fixed indexed annuities and our income rider options that we have available. Also, in the bottom right-hand corner, half of the millennials believe it will go bankrupt before they retire. So that being said, they should be aggressively putting into their own consumer savings or consumer retirement plans. And a fixed indexed annuity is always a fantastic way as it's a long-term growth retirement vehicle, especially when you leverage an income rider on top of that. Now, why is an income rider important? I like to think about the 4% rule. Now, if any individual isn't aware of what the 4% rule is on this webinar, the 4% rule is essentially a rule of thumb that is used to determine how much a retiree should withdraw from their retirement account each year. This rule, it really seeks to provide a steady income stream to the retiree while also maintaining their account balance, which keeps the income flowing. Or the long story short is you have the assets under management using the 4% rule to take out funds is traditionally a safe number to not deplete that account to the point of where you're not able to make up the withdrawals you're taking out with the returns you're receiving from the marketplace. Well, what if we didn't have to worry about a 4% rule or worry about what the market's going to be doing because you can offer your clients a guaranteed lifetime income stream? In this example, you can see here, I like to call the top line James, the bottom line Jane, just for the green and purple, and we already have Jane listed there at the bottom. But you can see they both start at $500,000 in the marketplace. This is actually in regards to an account on the S&P 500 and taking withdrawals out of it. Except for Jane's account starts roughly 1 to 2 years later. Well, because of that 1 to 2 year wait and the sequence of returns and withdrawals that both of these individuals had faced, Jane's account depleted much sooner than James's would have. So that being said, just because you are using that 4% rule doesn't necessarily mean that it is going to last forever. There is always a potential that your balance of the accumulation account could run out or not be able to keep up with that if we do hit a bear market. Because remember, on that bear market flyer, the average time to break even is 5.2 years. The average decline is 39%. Well, if your clients can sleep well at night, not necessarily having to worry about that, we can always leverage our fixed indexed annuities. So kind of moving in here, we did create the Income by Design brochure to be a tool to utilize for our downline advisors and their clients, really to find out why a fixed indexed annuity with a lifetime income stream is important. Also, what information that they need to find out if they have any monthly gaps in income or annual gaps in income. You can see here bridging the income gap, which is just a quick, easy worksheet to really highlight if there is any if there are any gaps in your client's financial portfolio. So really, let's go into the very basics. How do they work? So on the left side, market linked interest. So when the market increases, your FIA is going to increase slightly. Now, it's not going to have as high of an increase because we do have that downside protection, which is your hero or 0% floor. One graph to the right of that shows that downside protection. In a down market, your fixed indexed annuity is not going to lose value. So I think that's one huge item to take away from this. And now that we've talked about the fixed indexed annuity, let's put into perspective of the actual income that our industry has to offer. There's multiple different income products out there, and a lot of them do something very similar with some slight differences behind them. North American offers products on the guaranteed and participating income side. Guaranteed is exactly what it sounds like. You give us $100,000, we're able to spit you out an illustration or a quote depending on how long you'd like to defer, and we can give you that exact dollar amount where if you don't take any withdrawals from the account, the client is going to have that option available. And they're able to take that. It's no questions asked, no answers needed. The dollar amount that you had provided us is going to spit out a certain dollar amount in the future. A lot of people do like this option because, of course, it's guaranteed. They don't have to live with any market risk or downside potential. Now, some of the cons associated with that are traditionally when you have guarantees, you're going to be paying a fee for the income rider. Also, the guarantees are going to be a little bit lower than the hypothetical chance that a participating income rider has available to that. A participating income rider, instead of getting a guaranteed roll-up every year, it's really going to be based off of market performance, and that income account that's used to calculate that lifetime income stream is really going to be based off of that market performance. And a lot of times it's not just pro rata market performance, meaning your accumulation increases by 3%, but your income account bucket will grow by 3% as well. They do have some multipliers, some guarantees built in different products to where if you earn 3% to your accumulation account, you would actually get a 6 or a 4.5% roll up to your income account value. Traditionally, participating income riders don't have a fee associated with them and can have slightly less benefits than a guaranteed product with a fee. The beautiful part about North American's portfolio in regards to income is we have anything from immediate to deferring out 20 plus years. We have it with a fee with some higher guarantees, no fee. We have different benefits built into the lifetime income stream, such as a multiplier. Now, you might be asking what I mean in regards to a multiplier. A lot of income riders in our industry have either a nursing home confinement multiplier or the inability to perform 2 of 6 activities of daily living. And if your client falls into one of those categories, they could potentially double their income for up to a certain amount of years. So there's cool little facts built into these income riders. We are definitely still selling and looking at insurance products, so it's not necessarily going to make your client rich. It's to help their funds last them all the way through retirement. And with a sequence of returns, leaving your funds and assets under management, there's never a guarantee. However, with the lifetime income rider, if you don't take any additional withdrawals, you can be able to receive that dollar or payout amount for life. Now, we do have an increasing income option available on some of our products here at North American. Some of our products just have a level payout. Now, what I mean in regards to an increasing income option is when your client starts the income stream, it's generally going to start slightly lower than a level payout. However, it would grow either based on a certain percentage or performance in the marketplace. Every year that you are going to be alive, it would increase based on that market performance or certain percentage rate, your lifetime payout amount. With a level payout, it's simply going to be level for the remainder of their life. What dollar amount they start getting paid out in that first year that they choose to elect the income, they're going to receive that same payout every year moving forward, as long as they don't take any additional withdrawals from the account. So it's a really strong and cool factor to be able to choose what type of income that you're going to need at the time that you actually need to start that income. North American doesn't force you to choose the increasing of level or even single or joint at the time of issue. We offer that at the time that you're going to need those funds and know what is going to best benefit you and your current lifestyle then. Because I've received plenty of phone calls where an individual is like, hey, I really want that increasing option. And then once we get to talking, we end up kind of converting back over to the level option just due to the fact of their go-go years in retirement. Those first couple of years into retirement, they're a little more active. They need that higher income amount immediately for them. So there's definitely different scenarios, different cases that can be fit into income products. And North American is not going to fall short when it does come to those different product availabilities in the marketplace. Now, just to give everybody a quick insight, one of North American's lead products for income is our Income Choice. I mean, the name kind of gives it away there. It's a fantastic product that has some really strong rates associated with it. And then also our newly launched product, the SDAX at the top that says liquidity. Well, you notice it's slightly green there, so it does have some income benefits built into it as well. And then, of course, down in the bottom right-hand corner, our #1 selling fixed indexed annuity, the Benefit Solutions. That product, if you have an immediate income scenario, can definitely be a huge value add to you and your clients. With that being said, North American does have 3 A+ ratings with AM Best, S&P Global, and Fitch. So you don't have to worry about your clients not being able to receive that lifetime income in the future. We do have very strong financials here internally at North American, and we definitely like to leverage and use those as well. If anybody has any questions, you can always contact your marketing team at Core Group. You can also reach out to our sales support team here at North American at the number listed on the screen, which is 866-322-7066. Any one of the representatives on that sales support team is able to assist. And just to give everybody a kind of quick heads up of how strong our sales team is I've recently heard a statistic that the average tenure in the industry for our sales team is over 12 years. Longest person that has been with our sales team and on our sales desk is actually over 19 years. Second one is over 17 years. Third one's over 12 years. Kind of see where I'm going with that. We have plenty of experience. We've been around since day one of fixed index annuities, and especially the income rider portions of them. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the webinar. I'd love to see if anybody had any questions. If so.
It looks like we did. Yeah, it looks like we had one. I think it was from that early statistic that she said 50% do not have a plan, but do they have an IRA on that statistic, I think, at the beginning.
So the 50%, it's in regards to employee funded retirement accounts. That's not necessarily taking into account individual retirement accounts, but it does take into account SEPs and simple IRAs.
Sure. Okay. Another question on the chat was, how long must a client wait to begin lifetime income?
So that's the beautiful part. Traditionally in the industry, it's generally a minimum of a 1-year wait. There are definitely products out there that allow you to start within 30 days after the issue date. And North American has a product that actually has you defer 10 years before you're able to turn on that lifetime income stream. So depending on what the client's needs are, you can really dictate their needs and the benefits of a fixed indexed annuity to really match those. But easy answer, the earliest is 30 days after the date of issue is the quickest that I've ever seen anybody receive an income payment. Any additional questions? I can give it a second here.
Yeah, I think Nancy had one other, just trying to expand it on my screen so I can get it full.
Yeah.
She said, what's the current guaranteed rate for income versus the current guaranteed index growth? And then she also said, are the single premium annuities, are these single premium annuities, and what is the minimum?
All right, could you read that one more time for me to make sure I don't miss any of it?
Yep. So the first part of the question was, what is the current guaranteed rate for income versus the current guaranteed index growth? And the second part was, are these single premium annuities, and what is the minimum?
Yeah, so the minimum with North American is going to be at $20,000 for our income products. We do have one product that does have a $50,000 minimum. However, traditionally it is at $20,000. The current growth to the income account value on our guaranteed income rider is a 6% compounding roll-up for 10 years. And North American also offers participating income that does have a 200% of the growth of the accumulation account. We do have one that has a 2% guarantee plus 150% of the dollars of interest credited to the account. So we have different options that'll definitely fit most scenarios if they want all guarantees, partially guarantees, or no guarantees, and more hypothetical or a higher potential chance for income in the future. Now, she did mention the index growth guarantees. Traditionally, there is not a guarantee when it comes to the accumulation value. If you're talking about the average index growth of just our industry, I think I Googled it the other day and it came out to roughly 3.5%. If I were to run an illustration, it would be anywhere from 3 to 5% on a 10-year look back, but those aren't necessarily guaranteed.
Right. I think that's helpful though, for sure.
Absolutely.
I'm just going to check this one more time, but I don't think I see any other questions at the moment. Nancy did ask as well if I will have the, if this will be available as a replay, and the answer is yes. I send that out to all the attendees. I'll make sure to get that out to you today. And then also it's always available on the back end of our website under Advisor Resources. You just have to make sure you have a login, and I handle those as well. So you just quickly register on the site if you haven't done that already, and you'll have access to all the back-end resources on the core website. I'll give you my phone number. If you have any problems accessing any of that information, you can always call me on my direct line, which is 480-344-8234. And this is Allie talking, Director of Marketing. So if you have any problems with accessing any of that, I'm your gal.
All right, if we don't have any more questions, that concludes my presentation. I appreciate everybody tuning in today. Hopefully you were able to get a little bit of golden nuggets in regards to income riders and the industry, and maybe why we might want to look at putting a client into a lifetime income stream product. And of course, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to Allie, Brad, Alan, really anybody here at North American. We'd be happy.
Cody, it looks like Nancy wrote in one more time. She has one more question. Yeah. She said, can you add to these annuities, or is it a single premium? I think we did answer that, but if it is only a 10-year roll-up, then it is difficult to get a younger person to buy in. How would you maybe address that?
So the shortest roll-up period we have is 10 years. The longest roll-up period we have is 20 years. So that's how I'm going to kind of attack that question. I would generally pivot over to a different product than our 10-year deferral product and maybe go to something like the Benefit Solutions, Strategic Design Annuity, or the Income Choice. And what was the other question with that one?
I think you answered it all. What I would say is, Nancy, if you want to reach out directly to Cody or I, we can probably, and especially if you have a specific case, it's definitely better to talk to Alan, and we can kind of go over it case by case, because there are going to be unique situations left and right that you'll come across, but we usually have an answer for those, so we're happy to help.
I did remember the other part. She had asked if it was like a single or flexible premium, and the answer is North American offers both. However, North American is a slight outlier in the industry. Traditionally, people just have a single premium in regards to income products, but North American does have multiple options for a flexible income.
Awesome. Thank you, Cody.
Of course. If that concludes the
we
question.
Appreciate everybody coming on today. I think we're probably going to wrap it up a little bit early, but we appreciate it. And again, don't hesitate to reach out to us directly if you have a specific case or a question that we didn't cover or that comes to you later. So we're happy to help. Thanks, Cody.
Perfect. Thank you, Allie. Have a great day, guys.
Bye-bye.